Here we go. Last chapter. 11. The duel. Mr. Burke explained the rules of the duel to everybody. The mayor and Mr. Klutz would each write their cell phone number on a piece of paper and swap the papers. Then they would stand back to back. They would each walk 10 paces forward. Then they'd turn around, grab their cell phones, and dial each other's number as fast as possible. Whichever cell phone rang first is the loser. The other one would get to keep all the gold and Gilver. It's a deal, said Mayor Hubble. Deal. I'm betting my smartphone is smarter than your smartphone, said Mr. Klutz. I'm warning you, said the mayor. I'm pretty quick on the dial. No namby-pamby Gilbert Rustler can out-dial me, said Mr. Klutz. Mr. Burke told Mr. Klutz and Mayor Hubble to stand back to back. Look, their butts are touching, I whispered. Quiet, Arlo, shouted Andrea. Ready, set, go, shouted Mr. Burke. Mr. Klutz and Mayor Hubble started pacing away from each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paces. Then they both spun around. Fill your hand, you yellow-bellied phone slinger. Both of them grabbed the phones off their belt loops and started punching in numbers frantically. And then they pointed their phones at each other and waited for one of them to ring. I know what you're thinking, said Mr. Klutz. Did you punch in 7 or 8? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But you got to ask yourself... Oops, sorry. Wind took my phone. Well, ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? And then Mr. Klutz's cell phone started playing the hokey pokey. No, he shouted. Ha ha, nice try, Klutz. Better luck next time, said Mayor Hubble, blowing on his phone. Now all the gold and Gilver is mine. Adios, amigos. I'm skedaddling. The mayor got into his limo with his Secret Service agents and drove away. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. We were all in shock. Then Mr. Mackey stepped forward. Dang nabbit, he shouted. That scallywag done vamoosed with our gold and Gilver. If I get my hands on him, I'm going to stretch that no-good outlaw's neck. Come on, fellers. We'll head him off at the pass. Who's with me? No, thanks, said Mr. Ripping. I've had enough violence for today. Yes, Miss Laney said, violence is not the answer. You can't solve problems with violence, said Mr. Granite. Why is everybody always talking about violins? What in tarnation? Shouted Mr. Mackey. Ain't you cowpokes going to help me chase down that varmint? Mr. Burke didn't look worried. He was leaning against the fence and picking his teeth with a toothpick. Hold your horses, partner, he said. Let that old coot go. Let him go, said Mr. Mackey. Why? What about our Gilver? Gilver? Ain't no such thing as Gilver. I made that stuff up. Gilver's just shiny pieces of glass I scattered around the playground. What about the gold? Asked Mr. Mackey. Painted rocks. They ain't worth a plug nickel. So you planned all this, Mr. Burke? Why? Asked Mr. Klutz. Oh, I figured the mayor don't care a lick about balancing no budget, he said. He just wants to get rid of stuff he don't like. Art, music, teachers, schools. So I planted that gold and Gilver in the playground. I figured it was only a matter of time before that greedy bunco artist would try to snatch it. The cops will pick him up soon enough. Well, that's pretty much what happened. The police tracked Mayor Hubble down and took him to jail. Maybe he'll be there for the rest of his life. And maybe we'll raise enough money to bring back the art and music programs. Maybe all the men will shave their beards and stop saying yeehaw. And maybe everybody will stop talking about violins. Maybe they'll turn the water fountains back on and put toilet paper in the bathrooms again. Maybe we'll get the monkey bars back. Maybe Mr. Klutz and Mr. Burke will fight on the seesaws, and maybe I'll become a principal and toast some marshmallows. Maybe cannibal zombies will come out of the Underground Railroad and eat our brains. And maybe they'll be able to fill the big hole in our playground. But it won't be easy, partner. All right, guys. Book number 4 is done. Tomorrow we start on number 5. I'll see you then. Bye, partners.